those two lay apart as he would like. They plunge downhill now, down the
old Japanese battle there for the podium place. Sasaki showing no sign, put a body blow, a big dent into his early season title challenge. He's not scored. It's imperative that he sees the checkered flag. There's 11 laps to go here. The Liquid Moly Grand Prix of Germany for Moto3 second. For 7th then, you've got to give a lot of credit here to Onju, with despite for our trio completely wrecked his point scoring hopes. Scotty mate Josh Quatley has had to retire. McPhee still in this Grand Prix, but a bad day for the Brit.
You saw just a moment ago the old Tech 3 battle between Dennis Onju and back to the battle for second, and the pace looks like it's dropping off a little bit in this group. They lost 0.4 of a second to Guevara in particular, who's yet on Foggia. Is Garcia playing a patient game at the moment? Or
podium, this is clawing back more crucial World Championship points on Sergio Garcia coming into this German Grand Prix. Guevara was 16 highlights in Qatar, but at the moment they've got absolutely nothing. They can't.
Sergio Garcia was dangerously close there to track limits on the outside of turn 7. You can see on the left hand side of your screen the indicator just next to his. He could be taking of 27, so 2/3 race distance now complete. 27, so 1:27.1 for Ethan Guevara,
who instigated all that drama at the first corner involving McPhee and penalty coming his way for the iconic Dutch TT in Assen. 7 days time limits warning as we get towards the business end of this Grand Prix here then. 8.5 laps to go in Germany. Ethan Guevara for second. Dennis Foggia has been in second pretty much from on here. There's too many silly risks on overtaking Foggia. Just leave it late.
Foggia in the final sector of the lap. I mentioned earlier on in the race, the final sector of the lap has not those lines quite as tight as Garcia. Garcia looks a little bit more neat and tidy behind, collecting a bit of fluid after a pretty hot afternoon, although not as hot as many others because he's only completed 2/3 of the race distance. I think he will really. Their factory is just up the road from this circuit. Their sole runner, Xavi Artiga
of Jerman, the rebel KTM Ironman, sapped of confidence after those behind your race leader Ethan Guevara, who, to be fair, as he sweeps through the same race as Guevara. Here he is then, the man who comfortably leads here, who is still resisting this relentless pressure from Garcia.
Shades of Danny Kent here, isn't it, in 2015 from Guevara. He's just so to this day it's for second place, and Dennis Foggia looks like these two at the front of this group with the warning is to stay well within track limits. A long lap penalty will be coming their way if they transgress once again.
Were victorious, and I think they dominated the whole weekend and were runaway victors, and it's produced another absolute star in the making, hasn't it? Ethan Guevara, he's now already started his lap number 22 and he's nearly 4 inches to take third place in the standings away from Jaume Massio, 8 points behind.
Moment, Ethan Guevara would close the lead of his teammate in the career. 3 victories, 2 of which came this season, including the last Grand Prix. End of form that will really catch the attention of his teammate Sergio Garcia, who tends to problem with his teammate in the World Championship because that lead is shrinking and his grasp on third place is shrinking because Sasaki's looking close behind him in 4th.
Germany, Holgado perhaps just overworked his rear tyre. Advantage he has on Foggia in second place. It's 4.3. KTM Tech 3 teammate Fernandez, they pulled well clear. Massey's gone nearly 5 seconds behind this pair, so they really have it. So yeah, Massey's going the wrong way. It's getting worse for Jaume Massey, and he is going to now lose third in the World Championship, as we suspected. So
and the race leader, so Massey really struggling badly. Looking at those tyres early on in the Grand Prix, trying to make up ground after crashing in quality.
That gives you an indication of the humongous advantage that Ethan Guevara, nearly 5 seconds for the chasing pack to come into view as they came over the half. So he's obviously gone on the wrong side of the curve one too many times. Long lap penalty then coming in for Agi.
Massia's slump continues, lost another couple of places at the end. 6-second gap back to the battle, which is headed by Bartolini in the back of Europe.
We're seeing that tyre drop off really play a big effect now late on here in Germany, because Suzuki and Holgado are being dropped by a relatively comfortable 5th place, because Holgado's really in terms of a challenge for a 3rd successive podium, and Holgado has gone in the 129s. He's really suffering late on Holgado. He's
with 3 to go, so that could be rather close if that trend continues over the final. So what will the tactics be here for Sergio Garcia? He's been very good, which currently have him in the lead of the World Championship. He got his tactics slightly wrong though in the
ride. This is by Sasaki there in 4th place. How on earth is he captured the collision between the Japanese rider and the Spanish rider? We thought his injuries were so bad we weren't going to see him back in action champion until early August at the British Grand Prix Thursday, and declaring himself as a major podium threat here. And to yet another victory, back-to-back wins beckon for the Spanish teenager.
I see it was so close to running into the back of Foggia into turn one there as he slammed it. Tough section. It's the section that Ethan Guevara is about to turn right and about towards turn 12, and turn 13, the final corner, another big braking stop for Garcia. Look how close he is now. That Leopard Honda is very good in
fantastic morale boosting fourth place for the Salgado Husqvarna. 2 seconds clear of this battle. Foggia runs a tight defensive line late on the brakes.
What's useful for Foggia is that it's pretty much one corner at no real way through for Sergio Garcia through there. A little bit of a gap now emerging. Chance really for Garcia if he's to snatch these crucial 4 points. 4 extra points on offer here for second place.
Foggia's been superb in the first. Race leader Ethan Guevara, he's now through the Saxon curve. Comes Garcia, an aggressive move on the inside. Ethan Guevara, that was your race winner here in the German Grand Prix Moto3. Garcia did briefly snatch second at the final corner. He ran in hard.